Did you know that the average American home has more than 300,000 items in it? Yes, that's right, 300,000. From clothes and toys to gadgets and furniture, our homes are overflowing. Despite all this stuff, many people feel unfulfilled. In fact, a study by the National Association of Professional Organizers found that 82% of people feel overwhelmed by their clutter. Now, you might think minimalism is the answer. After all, getting rid of things should make life simpler, right? But here's the shocking part. Many people who embrace minimalism find themselves feeling just as tied down by their possessions. Instead of enjoying freedom, they become trapped in a cycle of decluttering and shopping for the latest, minimalist, must-haves. In this video, we'll dive into why you will never own less, even when you try your hardest. We'll explore the paradox of possession, the treadmill of minimalist aesthetics, and the emotional baggage that comes with our things. Each chapter will give you practical strategies to rethink your relationship with your belongings. So, if you're ready to discover how to embrace a more meaningful, less cluttered life, stick around. Let's unravel the complexities of minimalism together and find out how to truly define what enough means for you. Chapter 1. The paradox of possession. Minimalism is all about owning less, right? Ironically, the more we try to reduce, the more we seem to focus on the very things we're trying to escape. Psychologists call this the ironic process theory, where trying to avoid thinking about something only makes it more prominent. When we constantly think about what we need to declutter or downsize, our attention stays fixed on our possessions. In fact, research shows that we think about our belongings more often when we're actively trying to minimize them. It's a weird paradox. Take the example of Marie Kondo's famous spark joy method. While effective for many, it can also make us hyper-aware of everything we own. We start analyzing our stuff more deeply. Does this really make me happy? And suddenly, even an old sweater becomes the focus of intense thought. This mental focus keeps us attached, even as we try to let go. To break this cycle, it's better to shift the focus from the things themselves to how we use them. Minimalism isn't just about owning less, it's about using what we own better. For instance, instead of constantly thinking about decluttering, we can ask ourselves how an item serves us in our daily lives. Studies show that people who value utility over novelty tend to have more lasting satisfaction with their belongings. Instead of obsessing over what you own, try setting a rule for bringing new things into your life. For example, apply the one in, one out rule. Every time you buy something new, you have to let go of something old. This prevents accumulation without focusing too much on the specifics of what you own. It also shifts the mindset from minimizing to maintaining balance. Chapter 2. Minimalism's hidden treadmill. Many people start their minimalist journey to escape consumerism. Yet, it's easy to fall into a new kind of trap, the pursuit of better, minimalist-approved items. In trying to simplify, people often find themselves replacing items constantly. First, it's getting rid of those bulky chairs, and then it's buying a sleek, cleaner design to match the minimalist aesthetic. It turns into a cycle of upgrading in the name of simplicity. This is known as lifestyle inflation, whereas you seek higher standards of minimalism, you unknowingly increase your consumption. For example, one study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people who aim for a minimalistic lifestyle often feel the need to purchase higher quality, or perfect, items, leading to more consumption in the long run. A great way to combat this is by focusing on functional minimalism, rather than aesthetic minimalism. Functional minimalism is about utility. Instead of feeling the need to constantly replace or upgrade your items, focus on their usefulness. If something still serves its purpose, keep it. Even if it's not the latest model or doesn't match your minimalist Instagram feed. Here's a tip. Try a no-buy challenge. Set a period of time, say 3 or 6 months, where you commit to buying absolutely nothing except essentials. This forces you to work with what you already have and appreciate the items that serve you. You'll likely find that most of your upgrades aren't necessary at all. Chapter 3. The weight of digital clutter. Minimalism tends to focus on decluttering our physical spaces, but digital clutter can be just as overwhelming. Studies have shown that the average person has over 6,500 unread emails sitting in their inbox and over 50 apps on their phone, many of which they never use. That's a lot of mental baggage. Digital clutter can sneakily add stress, even if it's not in plain sight. According to Cal Newport's book Digital Minimalism, our attention is our most valuable resource, and too much digital clutter robs us of it. Think about how often you mindlessly scroll through social media or jump between apps. It's like having a messy desk, but in your mind. A cluttered phone or laptop can pull your focus away from the things that actually matter. So, how do we deal with digital clutter? First, do an app audit. Look at every app on your phone and ask, do I use this regularly? Does this app add value to my life? If the answer is no, delete it. Also, turn off notifications for anything that doesn't require your immediate attention. A study by the American Psychological Association found that frequent notifications are a major source of stress, even when they don't require action. Next, tackle your inbox. Try the inbox zero method, where you process your emails once or twice a day, deleting or filing anything that doesn't need immediate attention. It may sound extreme, but people who maintain an empty inbox report feeling more in control of their time. Finally, set boundaries around your screen time. Research shows that Americans spend over 5 hours a day on their phones, and most of that time is wasted on non-productive apps. Limiting your screen time is a simple but powerful way to clear out mental clutter. Try setting limits on your social media use or adopting a digital Sabbath, where you go 1 day a week without any screen time. You'll find your mind feels much clearer when you cut down on digital noise. If you're finding this content helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights on minimalism and living a simpler life. Chapter 4. Emotional baggage. The stuff you can't declutter. We often think of minimalism as physical, reducing possessions, tidying up, and keeping surfaces clean. But minimalism can't clear out emotional baggage. Sometimes, no matter how many things we get rid of, our mental load stays heavy. Minimalism doesn't always help with the deeper, emotional clutter we carry around. In her book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, Marie Kondo mentions that decluttering is often emotional. We have sentimental ties to our things, but what about the emotions we can't fold away? A Harvard Health study found that stress and anxiety often stem from emotional clutter like unresolved conflicts, lingering worries, or past trauma. These don't vanish just because we clean our spaces. So how do we manage emotional baggage? Start by practicing mindfulness. By focusing on the present, you can release some of the worries of the past or future. A study published in Psychiatry Research found that people who practice mindfulness for just 20 minutes a day reduce stress and anxiety by 30%. Simple breathing exercises or journaling can help you feel lighter emotionally. Another great strategy is setting emotional boundaries. If there are people or situations in your life that constantly drain your energy, learn to say no. Protecting your mental space is just as important as decluttering your physical one. It's not about shutting people out but creating a healthy distance so their emotions don't clutter your mind. Finally, consider seeking professional help if your emotional baggage feels too heavy. Therapy or counseling can give you tools to handle past trauma or anxiety that minimalism can't fix. A study by the American Psychological Association shows that therapy can improve emotional well-being by up to 70%. Sometimes, to truly declutter, we need to start within. Chapter 5. The Minimalist Aesthetic Trap. Minimalism has become a style, and it's easy to get caught up in how things look rather than what they mean. The clean lines, neutral colors, and empty spaces you see on Instagram can create a pressure to achieve an aesthetic, not a lifestyle. The truth is, chasing a minimalist look often leads to buying more stuff, not less. Brands have caught on to this trend. A study by Forbes found that minimalist branded products, like simple, sleek furniture, are marked up by as much as 50%. People feel the need to buy the latest minimalist approved items, thinking they'll make their homes look more like the perfect spaces they see online. But this is just another form of consumerism. Instead of focusing on aesthetics, focus on practical minimalism. Practical minimalism is about finding value in what you already own, regardless of how it looks. Don't get rid of something just because it doesn't fit a certain style. If it serves you, it stays. Remember, minimalism is a mindset, not a design trend. One great strategy is to try a shopping pause when you feel the urge to upgrade your space. Give yourself a week or even a month before purchasing anything new. During that time, ask yourself if the item is truly necessary or just something that fits a trendy look. A report by the Journal of Behavioral Decision-Making found that people who pause before purchases often decide they don't need the item at all, saving both money and space. Also, look for ways to reuse and repurpose items you already have. For example, instead of buying new storage bins to match a minimalist look, use boxes or baskets you already own. Repurposing what you have not only saves money but also aligns with the minimalist idea of doing more with less. If you enjoyed this video and found it insightful, don't forget to subscribe and share with friends who might benefit from a simpler, more meaningful life.